From 7 to 11 p.m. It's time to tune in to the weekend's gospel show with the one and only blessed man Leon Nash. Join the 4-hour musical journey that's uplifting, inspiring, and energizing, featuring powerful gospel hits, Bible trivia, engaging interviews, and all the latest news and updates. Plus, of course, birthdays and anniversary shout out. Whether you're winding down or getting lifted up, this show delivers nothing but purpose. Tell a friend, spread a word, and don't forget it's the music, and yes, even more music. Stay connected and follow at NRP Media JA on all platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Gospel. Every Saturday from 7 to 11 where they rhythm and information meets inspiration.
On Instagram at Exquisite Creations 1 and the Facebook at Exquisite Creations. Call us at 876-467-8722 or email exquisitemarsha@gmail.com. Exquisite Creations, your vision, our innovation.
Listeners to NRP Radio, listen every Saturday at 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. and again on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. with me, Daveon Nugent. Alongside me will be Mr. Winston Harrison as we do items. Sports 365 highlights what's happening. Tune in to listen via radio on our website at nrpmedia.com. The NRP radio app from the Google Play Store, or live radio shows while aired on nrpmediaja.com are supported by Facebook Live broadcast at Leon Nash and YouTube Live and TikTok at NRP Media JA. Join this funny religious station with the difference, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitation.
Stand by, stand by. All right. Okay, we're just sorting out some technical thing with the output. We'll be back with you momentarily. Stand by for me. Let me go back to radio and come right back. This is NRP Radio and NRP Media.
Where you are. No boundaries, no limitations.
X365 returns to NRP Radio. Listen every Saturday at 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. and again nights at 8 p.m. with me, Daveon Nugent. Alongside me will be Mr. Winston Harrison as we take on topical sporting items. Sports 365 highlights what's happening now. Tune in to listen via radio on our website at nrpmediaja.com or download the NRP radio app from the Google Play Store. Our live radio shows while aired on nrpmediaja.com are supported by Facebook Live broadcast at Leon Nash and YouTube Live and TikTok at NRP Media JA. This budding religious station with the difference, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitation.
All right. Thank you so much for keeping it locked right here on NRP Radio and NRP Media. We are back live now on the radio platform. We're just trying to launch our internal session from our Zoom room. Just one little challenge with I outperform the internal system. And we're going to try to see if we can fix that. But we're not going to allow that to stop us. We're going to go ahead right on Facebook Live and on YouTube, where we are today for the Sports 365 return. And we're going to hand it over in a moment to our brother Daveon Nugent and the team as we take you through the Sports 365 return right here on NRP Radio. Let's see if we're getting this straight.
Good day, Jamaica. I'm Daveon Nugent, and this is your complete sports roundup. Thanks for joining us. We have a packed program with the latest from netball, athletics, cricket, football, and much more. Let's get started.
Mr. Winston Harrison as we take on topical sporting items. Sports 365.
Jamaica's Sunshine Girls have created one of the biggest upsets of the 2026 Commonwealth Games. The Sunshine Girls edged defending champions Australia 46 to 45 in a thrilling semi-final to book their place in the gold medal match. The victory is historic, marking the first time Australia has failed to reach a Commonwealth Games netball final. Jamaica will now battle New Zealand for Commonwealth Games gold, while Australia has been relegated to the bronze medal match against England. It is
All right. And at 12 minutes after 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Daveon, good afternoon and welcome to this program. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Mr. Nash, doing excellent as a matter of
All
fact.
right. Are you muted on your side there? I'm not hearing you from my end. Not too sure why we're not hearing you. We're
Are you hearing me now?
trying our best to see if we can fix that. Though I know you are going out live, but we are not hearing you through my system.
I'm hearing you, Mr. Nash.
Good. All is well. All is well now. All is well.
Right.
All right.
Wonderful.
So let's take it. Let's take it now. Do it the right way, and it's going to be all over to you. All right. So let me do the promo one more time and hand it over to you fully. All right. Blessings.
At 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. And again on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. with me, Daveon Nugent. Alongside me will be Mr. Winston Harrison as we take on topical sporting items. Sports 365 highlights what's happening now. Tune in to listen via radio on our website at nrpmediaja.com or download the NRP radio app from the Google Play Store. Our live radio shows while aired on nrpmediaja.com are supported by Facebook Live broadcast at Leah Nash and YouTube Live and TikTok at NRP Media JA. Join this budding religious station with a difference, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitation.
Good day, Jamaica. I'm Daveon Nugent. This is your complete sports roundup. Thanks for joining us. We have a packed program with the latest from netball, athletics, cricket, football, and much more. Let's get started. Jamaica's Sunshine Girls have created one of the biggest upsets of the 2026 Commonwealth Games. The Sunshine Girls edge defending champions Australia 46 to 45 in a thrilling semi-final to book their place in the gold medal match. The victory is historic, marking the first time Australia has failed to reach a Commonwealth Games netball final. Jamaica will now battle New Zealand for Commonwealth Games gold, while Australia has been relegated to the bronze medal match against England. It is another landmark achievement for the Sunshine Girls, who continue to establish themselves among the world's elite netball nations. Congratulations to the players, coaching staff, and everyone associated with the team as the nation rallies behind them in pursuit of another major achievement. athletics news now. Jamaica's athletes continue to deliver impressive performances on the international stage. And the Commonwealth Games, Dejane Oakley captured the women's 400 meters title with a superb performance, winning the gold under much pressure, adding another gold medal to Jamaica's rich athletics tradition. With several relay events and finals still to come, Jamaica remains well positioned to increase its medal tally before the games concluded. Back home, attention is already beginning to shift towards the remainder of the international season as athletes prepare for the Diamond League and the Ultimate Championships coming up later in the year. The success of Jamaica's athletes once again highlights the country's incredible depth in sprinting, middle distances, and of course, our field events, which have been doing wonderfully at the Commonwealth Games. Now we turn our attention to cricket. The West Indies are celebrating a massive victory against defeating Pakistan, by 90 runs in the opening test to take a 1-0 lead in a two-match series. The Caribbean side produced a disciplined all-round performance with the fast bowlers leading the charge. Jaden Seals starred with a 5-wicket haul in the Pakistani second innings as the visitors were dismissed for just 120 while chasing 211 for victory. The win also handed the West Indies valuable points in the ICC World Test Championships. Attention now turns to the second and final test, which gets underway tomorrow at the Queen's Park Oval in Port of Spain, Trinidad. West Indies will be looking to complete a clean sweep, while the Pakistanis must win to level the series. Pakistan have also suffered major setback with the top order batter Shahan Masood ruled out after fracturing a finger during the first test. West Indies captain Royston Chase says the team wants to make the Caribbean a fortress once again, and another victory tomorrow would certainly send a strong message to the rest of the cricketing world. Moving now to football, and it is glory, glory for the Jamaican under 20 football team as they continue in their under 20 CONCACAF championship matchups. They secured a 2-2 draw with Panama after trailing early in the first half 2 goals to nil. That draw means that Jamaica, they now sit and 4 points, the same as table toppers Canada, who have a superior goal difference. Jamaica will face Canada in their final group match, knowing that a draw tomorrow will see them through to the knockout stages. And that is your roundup of the top sports stories for the week. Again, I'm Daveon Nugent, looking forward to listening to your comments as we move forward and as we continue to discuss sports on NRP Media. So that's the top stories, as I said. But I do have my guest with me today. Mr. Winston Harrison, unfortunately, won't be joining us today, but I do have a guest to discuss some of the top track and field items. I don't know if he wants to discuss the netball. You know, netball, I have my flag here with me still. Jamaica, the Jamaican team doing very, very well in netball, defeating the Australians, I think for the first time in Commonwealth matchups. Jamaica defeating Australia. It's a historic moment, happened earlier today. I watched the match, and I'll tell you, the last 3 minutes or so was so very exciting. What point they thought the Australians might come back and snatch it at the end. It didn't happen. The Jamaicans managed to hold on for a historic victory, and they go back to the finals. Of course, you remember last edition of the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England. It was the Australians who defeated the Jamaicans in the finals to take the gold medal. Now we defeated the Australians in the semi-finals, and we'll go up against New Zealand, knowing that if we defeat New Zealand, we'll get that Commonwealth goal, a historic goal for Jamaica. As I said, I have my guest on with me, O'Shea. How are you doing today, O'Shea Hudson?
Hi, good afternoon, David, and good afternoon to your listeners. And I must say I'm pretty good today. I mean, it's a pretty warm Saturday, but some wind here and there, so things aren't bad as they were on other days.
Yes, indeed. I have to say a belated happy birthday as well to my producer, Miss Alicia Russell Nugent, who is doing a wonderful job ensuring that everything is taken care of. He had a birthday on Thursday, a couple of days ago. So happy birthday to you. I won't tell you her age. Ladies don't like when their ages are disclosed. So I'll say is happy birthday to her, my producer. No, O'Shea, the reason I have you on is not to discuss netball or to discuss birthdays or to discuss football, but to discuss track and field. And of course, we have to talk about Jamaica's performance at the Commonwealth Games in particular, if we're going to talk about track and field. Um, your assessment of Jamaica's performance at the Commonwealth Games so far?
I mean, it would be remiss of me not to contribute to the discussion about the Sunshine
Netball.
Girls because
Yes.
I love just about every sport, and I mean,
Mhm.
on a day like today, Jamaica celebrates Emancipation Day. It is really a fantastic way for us to kickstart the morning. But just to note, to the listeners, this is actually the second year straight that Jamaica has defeated Australia at the Commonwealth Games. So the last time around in 2022, we got by them in the group stage or the pool stage by one goal, incidentally, and went back to the final and lost to them there. So we met them twice at the last Commonwealth Games. We got the first victory against them. And this time around, again at the Commonwealth Games, we get by them. But the thing about it this time, we get by them in the semi-finals. So therefore, we avoid them in the finals, so which is good. A fantastic game. I didn't see it live. I was watching it actually before I came on. So I have the rest of the game to go and watch because we are not privileged like the foreigners to see it on the different channels. But absolutely fantastic. This is what we call grit and determination from the Sunshine Girls, and I make no doubt that New Zealand will not have a second chance against them come tomorrow. Also to the young reggae boys, I mean, it is the season of fighting, pushing, and hoping for the best results. I think that's what they're doing, coming back from behind twice to eke out some fantastic results. Now sets themselves up for another chance at qualifying, even though I think if they don't get by Canada, they still can go on. So they're in a good spot. But now to the Commonwealth Games, like you said, Davian, I mean, I am absolutely thrilled with what I am seeing so far. There's no performance to date that I can say I am really disappointed in because most of the performance that didn't go according to plan. I mean, the writings were already on the wall, but the athletes, I think, given the chances that they have gotten by being selected and being at the games, they are riding on a certain momentum, and I think that is what is really showing out now for all the athletes. And so far, I am really satisfied.
Yeah, I don't want to necessarily start the program off with disappointment, as you said, it's a historic day, defeating Australia in the semi-finals. The football, the under 20 CONCACAF championships, the youngsters doing well, as you said, showing real grit and determination, coming from behind twice. Firstly, to beat Honduras 2 goals to 1, and then to draw with Panama 2 goals to 2 after they went down by 2 goals in the first half. And of course, didn't mention it in the sportscast, but the in terms of club football, Mount Pleasant doing very well as well, defeating Robin Hood. Yeah, there's a football team called Robin Hood in Trinidad, I think by 3 goals to 0. So good news coming out of the sporting world for Jamaica right now. We're winning and continue to win. So it's a good look for us. But as I said, I don't want to necessarily start with disappointment because there's so much going on, so much positive going on in terms of sports for Jamaica. But Jamaica not having a finalist in the 100 meters for men. That's our marquee event. Not having a medalist, even though we had 2 finalists for the women, didn't have a medalist in the women's 100 meters when the defending champion is a Jamaican, Elaine Thompson Hera. We didn't have a medalist, didn't have a finalist on the men's side. Again, second Commonwealth Games, I think, in a row where we didn't have a single finalist for the men's 100 meters. Is that any sort of reason for us to be concerned? I know the top athletes, so to speak, are not there. No Oblique, no Kishane, no Elaine to defend, no Sharika, no Claytons. But should we be any at all concerned about the 100 meters results at the Commonwealth Games?
I mean, to be frank, David, I think we didn't stand a significant chance at medaling in the men's side of things because I think looking at where we were going in, I mean, people were saying that the likes of an Akeem Blake stood a chance of getting onto the podium, but he has not been having a pretty by his standards, he has been having a less than impressive second phase of his season. He has really not been doing anything in terms of challenging. And the very same guys that have been beating him on the Diamond League and on the World Continental Tour Series were the same guys he would have met here, and most of them. So I wasn't gonna be too hopeful for him. But I know he's an capable gentleman, and I expected him to step up to at least make the final. So that's where my disappointment came, not making the final. Ron Watson experience before, but again, I think he overperformed in my estimation because his first one run was the best I've seen him in a long while. He just couldn't replicate, but that's what he has been doing consistently all season. He gives you a good performance now, and then he falters. Therefore,
Consistency.
yeah, I wasn't too surprised again. On the women's side of things, I expected two finalists, but um, not seeing Janelle Smith at the start would have suggested that something was wrong. Not that I didn't think Joding was capable, but again, we have to call things based on what how or the merit of where they were going into this season and who they were up against. So she could have medal. I mean, if she actually run a better race or run close to her season's best, but I think it was always gonna be tough for her. Johnny Smith stood a better chance, but not being at the final, not obviously not in the best of shape. Something probably happened that would have caused her not to show up. Therefore, Jamaica chances of medaling in the event would have been slim.
Want to talk about the times because the times were fantastic, as you said, in terms of, especially on the men's side, in terms of the 100 meters. You probably would have needed under Bleak Seville. We probably would have needed a Kishane Thompson if you wanted to medal based on how fast the times on the men's side were. But let's talk, before we get to the times, let's talk about the conditions in Glasgow, because every time I talk to somebody who's over there who's actually experiencing the conditions, whether I talk to the netball people, the basketball people, everybody, they're saying the same thing. Not just the track and field people. Everybody's saying the same thing. It is super cold in Glasgow, and it rains. They say you wake up in the mornings and it's okay. It's sun shining bright, and it looks wonderful, and then by mid-afternoon it's ice rain. And understand that the sprinters in particular are not enjoying those conditions in Glasgow.
Yeah, and that's the reality. That's the reality of having to compete in the UK, in the European region rather, close to UK. It's similar weather. Um, it's unpredictable, but again, like I said, all athletes have to subject themselves to the same conditions. So I know how Jamaicans, especially in the semifinals, the weather was atrocious. When I saw Johnny Smith running, I was a little bit scared for her because I know she was really suffering in that kind of weather. But again, you have to prepare because they knew ahead of time they were going to Scotland and exactly where at this point in the season what the weather could potentially be like. Well, I hope at least the research was done. So the weather was not in favor for most of the day that we had the semifinals and the finals of the sprint events. That's exactly one of the day that you had really bad weather. So therefore, if we should judge it on the merit of what the externals were, it would have worked against our Caribbean athletes. But we could have helped that. That's Mother Nature. We just have to show up and perform. I mean, all other athletes did it. The Europeans, the Africans, they did it in the very same weather. I mean, just unfortunate for Jamaica.
Yeah, and I don't mean to begrudge a point, but if you look at it and if you realize what happened, the local based Jamaicans had a far more difficult time to adjust, sorry, to the conditions than those who might have been based um, overseas, might be a little bit more used to the cold and the rain. So it happens. It happens. But as I said, I want to talk about the times. Commonwealth Games record to win the gold medal, 9.83 by the Cameroonian Esme. I mean, that's just fantastic. At 32 years old, making that breakthrough, that massive breakthrough into the low 9.8s. And then we had Lachlan Kennedy, the Australian, finishing in second at 9.85. At one point, it looked as if he had that gold medal around his neck before Esme took it at the line. But Kennedy becomes the fastest Caucasian sprinter of all times, becoming only the second Caucasian sprinter to go sub 9.90. At 9.85 is the fastest Caucasian sprinter of all times, and that must say something. And then you had the Nigerian Jehi, who finished third in 9.90. Those are super fast times. Super fast times.
And let's put things into context, because if we have been watching carefully along the Diamond League campaign and circuit, you'd have seen at least two matchups between Oblique and Ajayi. So he came in as one of the strong contenders. And as I was saying to persons, that make no joke about the quality feel that the other guys that were entered for Jamaica would have been up against. Kennedy has been doing fantastic all season. Consistency is the game that he plays. SMA, to me, just came out of nowhere, because he looked good in the first round, looked pretty average in the semi-final, but he got there nonetheless. But again, that is what experience it does. It teaches you wisdom, it teaches you how to operate under pressure. And I think the pressure got to Kennedy, it got to Ajayi more than ever, but SMA was able to hold it together. And I think in the kind of conditions they were competing, I think those times were fast and they were absolutely brilliant runs. If you were not aware that it rained and how cold it was, you'd probably say they had perfect ideal conditions with three sprinters getting under 10 seconds. But it goes to show you the quality of the competitors that were in that finals. So kudos to all the three gentlemen.
Yes, and as we talk about what happened, we're talking about as well as what is going to happen or what should happen. The Jamaican men's 4x1 team, the team has been released. It is Akeem Blake on first leg, Rohan Watson on second leg, Christopher Taylor on the bench, third leg, and Jerome Campbell anchoring for Jamaica. That's a lineup that I have here. Not sure if that's a lineup that is going to be sent out. Let's see if we have the lineup as well for the women. I think the women 4x1, Jamaica's 4x1 team is favorite for me. Let's see the lineup. Well, we have Alana Reid, Jodine Williams, Lavanya Williams, and Ashanti Moore. That's what's available online. Also have some updates in terms of the long jump, because we have a finalist in the long jump, Akeelia Smith, who won a silver medal in the triple jump. She's a two-event athlete. She does both the long and the triple jump. So her second event, I'm sure she's tired, very tired, and she's competing in that long jump final right now. She's currently sitting in 8th position with 6.47 meters on her first round attempt. And, after 3 attempts, then you take the top 8 and you go from there. So after everyone has taken at least one jump, no, she's in 8th position, so she'll have to go further than 6.47. The bronze medal, it's a high level competition right now. The bronze medal with Sawyers of England at 6.7 meters. The gold medal with the Nigerian Usuro at 8. Sorry, did I say 8? Sorry, so the bronze medal at 6.75 meters. 6.75 meters. The Nigerian leading with 6.87 meters, and Australia's Bushnell, she is second with 8.80. So if we can't win gold, we're hoping that maybe the Nigerian holds on, because there is a battle going on, folks, for that top of the table standings. You have the overall standings. I think Jamaica in the top 10 right now, but you also have the track and field standing. And right now, Jamaica sitting second on the medal table in terms of the medals won. So the Australians, they lead with 8 golds, 7 silver, 9 bronze, 24 medals in total. Jamaica right now, we are second with 7 goals, just 1 goal behind the Australians, 3 silvers and 5 bronze medals, which means that we have 15 medals in total right now, which coincidentally is the complete and total medal haul we got from the Commonwealth Games 4 years ago. So it seems as if Jamaica will surpass that 15 medal total from the entire 2022 games, because the Jamaican netball team will get a medal. I'm thinking it's a gold medal, but we will get at least one more medal in terms of the netballers adding to that medal total. So we will surpass the medal total from 2022. In terms of the track and field medal tally, we'll get back to that. England, they're currently in third with 5 golds, 8 silver medals, and 5 bronze medals for a total of 18 medals. If you're looking at it from a perspective of total medals won, the Australians at 24 and England at 18 are the only 2 nations who have won more medals in track and field than Jamaica. Jamaica, they sit currently joined to third in total in terms of total medals won. They have 15 medals, the same as India, and we're expecting that more medals in track and field will come today on the final day of track and field. And let's get back to that now, because we're looking at the overall performance now, O'Shea, of the Jamaican track and field team. When I pull up and I look at in terms of the breakdown of medals, first of all, it's a pretty even split between the men and the women. So the men have won 4 gold medals, 1 silver medal, 2 bronze medals, total of 7. The women have won 3 gold medals, 2 silver medals, 3 bronze medals, a total of 8. That's a good sign. It means that the men are doing just as well as women, where in previous years the women would have outshined the men.
Yeah, I think that has changed pretty much since the closure of that boat decade. I think things have really switched back to an equal balance. At least, and again, it's on the merit of those talents that we saw coming through, because when we had the likes of Hussein and Asaf and those, at least they had a male strong contingent going to a lot of the earlier championships. Then once Shelley and Fraser and the like joined the likes of Veronica Campbell, Million Walker, then we had a shift in terms of medal prospects, and then we had that edge to the women coming through that decade. But then there were people that were on the rise, talents all around in all events, field events, on the track, and it's now showing up. So I'm pretty pleased, because again, it encourages all the other young participants that you need to put in the work, because a medal is possible regardless of your gender and regardless of your event. So far, I'm happy with what I'm seeing. I'm also happy with the balance of medals from both the field event and the track. I mean, the field event has started, the ball are rolling. They usually, for the last couple of seasons, step to the front first at the major championships of Jamaica, and at some of the championships have done pretty much most of the work in terms of the medal hunting and also the rewards for us. But now we are seeing a delicate balance now between who's gonna end up with more medals. Is it the track or the field? I think by now, I think track and field has taken over from the field event at the Commonwealth game, but a good showing all around. And this is what you call a track and the field nation, when you can have both your athletes performing both in the field and on the track.
Yeah, indeed, because I think at one point, the medal spread, when we were at 8 medals, 6 medals came from the field eventers and 2 came from track. And then yesterday things started to change, where we won 4 track medals, so it became a total of 12 medals, 6 being track medals and 6 being field events medals. And then today, the field eventers actually took command again because they won 2 medals today, a gold medal and a silver medal. So the gold medal going to Jordan Scott in the triple jump, the silver medal going to Frederick Dakers in the discus. And then in terms of track, Dejane Oakley won the 400 meters to keep the track rolling. So it's almost an even split at the moment with 8 field events medals and 7 track medals. That is an awesome mix.
Yeah, and as I said before, and then the spread of athletes, we're talking about what we call debutants or first timers, as opposed to experienced person. But the truth about it, most of this team at the Commonwealth Games is pretty much newcomers or debutants to a major championship. This is the most global championships they have performed as a senior athlete, because a lot of them are also outstanding or former outstanding junior athletes, and to see them transitioning into the senior ranks and competing and achieving the highest you can achieve at the Commonwealth Games. You're talking about the likes of a Sonic Walker winning that 400 meters goal. To this moment, I'm really, really thrilled and still over the moon, because I know where she's coming from. I know how much she has worked hard. She would have gotten a chance to go to the World Championships. Unfortunately, was left off the team. Now she gets a second chance around at a global championships, and with the absence of an Anjanette Knight and a Rochelle Clayton, Evo Chan, someone been there and not having the best of season, Sonic was able to step up. So it goes to show you that the youngsters have really rose to the challenge, and they're really showing their validating their reason for selection, because a lot of people were saying that they were just making up numbers. But again, when you have Shante Foreman, I can call all the medal winners and competitors, they have really justified their selection.
Yeah, I'm particularly happy for young Shante Form. Sorry, because as you said, we know what these young athletes have gone through, and she's one that is continuing the great Jamaican tradition of triple jumping, especially on the women's side. We're talking about from Trisha K. Smith, and that was early 2000s. We're talking about 2005, 21 years ago. Trisha K. Smith became the world champion in the triple jump. We're talking about Kimberly Williams. You see where I'm going? So it's a tradition that is continuing now, and now we have a line of athletes going along. And now we have young Achilles Smith, who is a double threat triple jump, long jump, and now you have Shante Foreman coming through. And guess what, folks? There are others in high school just ready to make that transition as well. So when I'm looking at Jamaica's triple jump, um, you call it no talents. We're looking at Jamaica's triple jump talent and those who are coming through. There's real hope that Jamaica will continue to have medalists on the global stage for a long time to come in the women's triple jump.
So it's about technical events. So you can classify it as a rise in the technical events, because over the years, people were always saying we were naturally gifted at running in a straight line and running around the curve probably one time, and that's it, Jamaica. That's where pretty much it stopped. But now you have shows who learn the technical um, proficiencies of the event, and they are producing the results. You have the jumpers, you have the hurdlers, and these are persons, as I said, David. You said that the conveyor belt will continue to churn out talent. You're gonna see it again at the CSC game that pretty much is gonna begin just now on the as the Commonwealth game winds down. You're gonna have other outstanding young ladies who could not be a part of this Commonwealth Games team. That's gonna be at the CAC game. They just came off the Pan Am under 20 and 18 championships. We had outstanding jumpers. When I talk about the likes of Daveon Bernard coming out of Idel, I think she's one for the future. There are so many others in the NCAA system that really didn't show up at the trials this year, but they're outstanding jumpers. Long horizontal and vertical jumpers. So therefore, I have zero worries, because again, they have the issue to look forward to. You said it that since the days of Kimberly Williams, and I think had we won this event, would have been the third time straight coming that a Jamaican would have dominated the triple jump, coming from Kimberly Williams to Shanika Ricketts, who would have been the defending champion. And now we have 2 medalists. So again, this is, even though we didn't get gold, I think this is a big deal because of the 3 medals on offer, Jamaica was able to get 2.
2.
100% return.
And you're talking about 2 medals, you know. Let me come a little closer so people can understand. The fund from Dominica is an outstanding triple jumper. She's top 10 all times.
Reigning Olympic champion and indoor champion. So you have to talk about
there
that.
You go. Reigning Olympic, reigning indoor. Is a very good jumper. And once you saw her name and on the paper, you knew that once she performed, she more than likely would have won. And to see these young jumpers, Shante Foreman, who I think is still in college, and Akeelia
No,
Smith,
I think
who's
she has just graduated. So
just
herself
graduated.
and Nick Oakley, they have both
Yes.
joined the professional ranks. So this
Okay.
is what I get. Again, so there's also context, Daveon. She's coming off a long
Long
indoor,
season.
outdoor NCAA system. Yeah.
Yeah.
So to be able to produce, big deal.
Yeah, man. So that's the point I'm making. These are not necessarily seasoned campaigners. Akeelia may be a little bit more experienced than Shante Foreman because she has been to World Games before. But youngsters coming through and getting the job done under pressure. I mean, when you look and you see a jumper that's top 10 of all times, Olympic champion, it can get into your head, you know. It absolutely can, and it can make you a little bit nervous. And for them to perform under that kind of pressure to deliver and to get silver and bronze, I think it's a big deal. There are others though that I want to talk about, particularly not so young. I mean, well, he's got to see this and laugh, but I want to talk about Dakers, Mr. Frederick Dakers. His silver medal for me felt like a goal. I mean, I know what Frederick Dakers has been through. Knee injuries, knee surgery, being injured for an extended period of time, being out of the sport. Some people even said that he was not going to be a factor anymore. He didn't throw 70 meters, but over 65 meters to win the silver medal against the Australian, Denny. That is a big deal as well. So it's not just the youngsters, but the senior man, Frederick Dakers, performing and getting the job done.
Yeah, and David, we talk about atrocious condition to perform in. I think this morning the discus shows had probably one of the surprise of the morning because I think the weather just became so erratic that the shows were all struggling. We saw young Ralphon Mullins, he only got one valid show. They struggled right through. Denny himself was being very cautious as you see. I saw him approaching the ring. But again, what I love about Frederick's performance, Davian, is that Frederick has been to many championships. He's actually the games record holder. And he would have started at similar stage like the other youngsters. And I've watched him. He has done several check-ins in terms of social media postings. And just to see how he has rallied around the other youngsters, keep the team vibe going through. And knowing that this is the young man that has really had to battle a lot, especially mentally, to keep focus in the game. I remember the last thing that featured Frederick was that they had to be training in the dark at UWI, got noticed not to train anymore on the compound because of the dangers of the training ground. And those are things that many persons don't factor in what an athlete has to go through. And then we expect them to just snap the finger, get on a plane, go to the championships and just churn out the results, not understanding that what is required for an international athlete to perform is the ideal or the most ideal, not the ideal, because nothing in life is going to be absolutely ideal, but they got to have the basics right. And a lot of things have worked against Frederick. If you ask me, a lot of things, injury, school, as I said before, lack of facility, resource, funding, it has worked against him. So I'm really happy to now see him back on the podium. And again, he continues to inspire the generation who many persons have said would have surpassed him at this season, because the other youngsters, we can talk about them both who are competing for Jamaica now and others who have done so and still deciding where to compete next. They thought they would have surpassed him, but Frederick is showing that again, he can produce the goods. And anything for me above 65 is quality performance.
Yes, it is, especially in those conditions. So
Absolutely.
again, I'm happy for Fred. I mean, you look at what he's been through, and then you see him there with the team, and he's gelling with the team as a senior man. He's there and he's encouraging the youngsters, and I can just imagine how comforting it is for the youngsters to have somebody who you saw a few years ago on your TV competing, winning a silver medal for Jamaica in the discus at the World Championships, and he's there with you, and he's encouraging you, and he's giving that little bit of encouragement to you. I saw Samantha Hall, and they were playing 1, 2, 3 fast or slow. As I name, I can't remember. Yeah,
ABC fast or slow.
ABC fast or slow, not 1, 2, 3. ABC fast or slow. I was there with Samantha Hall, and I was like, yeah, this is a vibe, because that settles you. It takes your mind off the pressure, and to see that Samantha Hall delivered under pressure, I think that kind of vibe in the camp had a lot to do with the performance that we're seeing right now. We're tracking as we're talking, folks, the long jump for women, the women's long jump finals, that is underway. They're in the third round now. Akilia Smith, she's still in eighth, hasn't improved on her 6.47 meters jump in the first round. She did 6.28 in the second round, so she's still sitting in eighth. The top three remains as they were, with the Nigerian leading after 3 jumps at 6.87 meters. So let me get that straight. 6.87 in the first round. Next 2 jumps were fall jumps. The Australian is in second with 6.80 on our first round. Second round was 6.53, and Sawyer's third with 6.75 meters. So you're not the conditions not too wonderful right now. So that's going to be a little bit of a concern when we get to the relays, the 4x1s in particular. So Akilia Smith still sitting in eighth. She has 1 more jump, and let's see if she can, first of all, get into the top 8 and get 3 more jumps, and second of all, if she can get up to the medals. Medal is now at 6.76. There are 2 ladies actually at 6.75. The Aussie, Mid Sky, and the English lady Sawyers, both at 6.75. But Sawyers leads as her second jump of 6.64. Our second longest jump of 6.64 is further than the 6.57 done by the Aussies. So Aussies currently in second and fourth. Jamaica with Akilia Smith in the third round now, sitting in eighth. Want to talk before we go to the break? We have a break in just about 7 minutes or so. We'll go to the break. I want to talk about Jordan Scott, because for Jordan Scott, has been jumping wonderfully for the last, I'd say, 2-3 years. He's improving, getting better with getting those Diamond League wins, getting closer and closer to the 18-meter barrier. But for him, winning a title must mean something.
Yeah, it's almost a situation of showing up and doing exactly what people expect of you. Because one of the things, I'm glad that Jordan Scott got a chance to represent Jamaica. Because if you can recall, Daveon and others might recall that Jordan did not compete at the trials. I mean, he came to the trials just right off the heels of a performance at the Diamond League. So he got to joke the trials a little bit shorter than he would have expected. Could have competed if he asked him, but he decided not to. But he has been consistent all season. He has been jumping those big marks against some stellar field. And I think what he did right at this championship was to ensure that he secured the gold medal for Jamaica without having to exert much, because he's virtually qualified for the World Ultimate Championship. And at that championships. You will have gentlemen who are jumping at 17 meters and much farther. So therefore, he will have to step up big time. So I think he just came out, did the bare basics that he needed to have done. Don't do much than required now. And again, but a title is a title. And again, I don't think a triple jumper of in the last, I can't be wrong, has really won anything for Jamaica at the Commonwealth Games or won a gold medal. I think they might have medal, but to have won a gold medal
Gold medal.
Commonwealth Games, it is not. It has never been done. So therefore, he goes down in history for Jamaica, and I think his first global title because Commonwealth Games titles, regardless of how people want to scrutinize or critique them, there are big titles, huge titles
Indeed.
because some of the very best athletes in the world are from the Commonwealth region. And I think Jordan is one of those big names.
Indeed. So, just a reminder, we are on TikTok and YouTube at NRP Media JA, Facebook at Leon Nash. That's Leon spelled Leon Nash Nash. So again, Leon Nash Leon, last name Nash, and radio at nrpmediajamaica.com. Listeners and viewers can share in the program via WhatsApp, text, or call 876 336 992. Again, you can share your views or your suggestions via call or text, WhatsApp, text, or call at 876 336 9928. We are just a couple of minutes away from the break. We'll take the break in just a couple of minutes, but again, we're tracking what is happening in Glasgow. And in terms of the triple jump, no, I'm saying the triple jump, the long jump, the long jump. The women's long jump final is on, and we've been tracking it and tracking it. Akeelia Smith just took her third and final jump. An improvement, slight though it may be, an improvement for Akeelia Smith. She goes to 6.48, and that is just 1 centimeter better than the 6.47 she did in the first round. 6.48 has her sitting still in 8th position, and there are two jumpers to come who are behind her in the standings. The Canadian Goodrus and the Trinidadian the Janis. And if either of them goes further than 6.49, then Akeelia Smith will have ended her competition in the long jump. If she remains in the top 8 after they jump, then she gets 3 more jumps. Right now, the Canadian at 6.45 is closest to her, and then the Trinidadian a best jump of 6.28 is next. So those two, after those two get their attempts in there, the only ones left in the series, then we'll know if Akeelia Smith will get 3 more jumps. If the two jumpers, the Canadian and the Trini, are not able to get to 6.49 or better, Akeelia gets 3 more shots at a medal. That medal again is at 6.76. So if she gets to 6.76, then she gets into the medal bracket. But I think we're just up on the break, so I'll throw it to Mr. Nash and we'll go to our 2 o'clock break and come back to let you know if Akeelia gets into the final 8.
All right, stand by for the time signal coming up right here on the station momentarily.
The word of the Lord, according to Psalm 86, verse 5, says, Lord, you are kind and forgiving, and have great love for those who call to you. This is NRP Media and Radio. The time is 2 o'clock.
All right, so it is 2 o'clock right here. Stand by.
No boundaries. Limitation. Radio listeners, Sports 365 returns to NRP Radio this and every Saturday at 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. and again on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. with me, Daveon Nugent. Alongside me will be Mr. Winston Harrison as we take on topical sporting items. Sports 365 highlights what's happening now. Tune in to listen via radio on our website at nrpmediaja.com or download the NRP radio app from the Google Play Store. Our live radio shows, while aired on nrpmediaja.com, are supported by Facebook Live broadcast at Leon Nash and YouTube Live and TikTok at NRP Media JA. Join this budding religious station with a difference, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations.
So, welcome back from the break. And we have good news as we get back from the break. So, after 3 rounds, Achilles Smith, she gets 3 more attempts. She's in 8th position right now with the best jump of 6.48 meters. Well, she'll have 3 more attempts to get that big one out there to see if she can get a medal, get amongst the medals. Right now, that gold medal is at 6.87. The Nigerian Zoro, and then we have the Australian Bucknell had 6.80, and the English woman Sawyers at 6.75. That's where the medals are right now. So she has to target those distances to get a second medal here at the Commonwealth Games. Of course, she finished second in the triple jump. She's targeting 1 more medal. She'll open the 4th round, Achilles Smith. She sits currently in 8th position. She'll open the 4th round, and if she can get better than 8th position, then we'll be so very happy. But she does get 3 more jumps, 3 more attempts at a Commonwealth medal in the long jump. So we're watching that. We're definitely watching that as we are on the final lap, so to speak, final lap of today's program. We also should be able to give you a roundup or a confirmation of what will happen in the men's and women's 4x100 meters. Won't be able to give you information from the men's 800 meters final, which will feature Navaski Anderson. By that time, we'll already be completed the program or give you information on the mixed 4x1s, but we should be able to provide you with updates of the final results for the relays. The men's 4x1s, that happens at that happens in just about 10 minutes from now. So that would be 2:15 Jamaica time. So just about 2:15 p.m. Jamaica time, the men's 4x100 meters will take to the track. So that's about 11 minutes or just about 10 minutes from now. They'll take to the track and we'll know if Jamaica's team, let me look at the team sheet here, if it's still the same. Yes, it is. Akeem Blake, Rohan Watson, Christopher Taylor, Jerome Campbell. That team, though, O'Shea, if that is a team as it is set out and lined up here on the Commonwealth Games Association website, that team will have to do the damage from the first 2 legs, you'd suspect.
Yeah, I mean, chances of a medal is very slim with this team. We saw them this morning in qualifying. Didn't look as impressive as I expected them, though persons would have said this is not a strong team. I thought what let them down was that 3rd leg. And I see they have switched around the competitors. And they have really front loaded what we would probably say in track and field, front loaded the squad. And I think if you want to stand a chance, because again, once you can mount a pressure from early, you can force others to slip up. And I think that's probably what they're trying to get. Akeem Blake has been um, a pretty much a consistent feature on our start. When it's not him, it's Ron Watson. So both gentlemen are really speedy from the blocks. I think Chris Taylor, 200-meter bronze medalist, is the best person we have now to run a curve. So it is almost no option otherwise than what he himself. And Jerome Campbell, I heard that, but also has some speed. So I'm hoping, I'm just hopeful that they can get the button exchanges as smooth as they can be. And if they're right there about, I think, especially with that jump on one of those big teams, they might be able to hold on for at least a bronze medal.
Would you have gone for Campbell, or would you have gone for somebody like a Powell who ran the 200 meters?
So what I would have gone for, because again, I'm not so aware
Hmm.
of the credentials for Javon Paul running a sprint relay. I've not really seen him much. I know of his quality in the
4 by
4x4,
4.
and I think I would have gone for Rashawn Clark. But again, Rashawn Clark is
Yeah,
injured. I think he would have been the most ideal. I don't know what the Mario Prince is like on the flat surface. But so to me, knowing the best of what's there, I would really go for Jerome Campbell because
Campbell.
he has run a few relays with his college team as opposed to what Javon Powell
Powell.
has
Hmm.
done. I mean, I'm just hoping, David, and this is just a big hope that Javon Powell could have probably stepped up at these championships and joined the 4x4 mix, because I think with this 200 meters speed that he has now found and his strength from, because Chris Taylor would have been a next option, but he has been doing the rounds, done the eat this morning, will come back for the 4x1 final. I think Javon Powell probably should have taken a chance like Sharika did a few years ago and go for that 4x4 mix. And I think once he would have partnered with Antonio Watson, DJ Oakley, and probably Shanike Anderson, Jamaica would have stand a chance of medaling. So for now, I'm okay with Jerome Campbell.
Okay, not a problem. So the English team will see Jones, Walsh, Mitchell Blake, and the man on fire for them right now, Ramel Glaive. Who, by the way, Ramel Glaive was a Jamaican at one point. Actually competed under the Jamaican flag for a little while, and then switched to England, Great Britain.
Surprises there's no Zanel use. I mean, he has
No
been having
Zarnell.
a turb. He started the Commonwealth Games looking pretty decent, but everything has really um rattled into pieces. So he's not included in that team.
Yeah, and I think the favorites here, the favorites, I'd say this is a team that has been together for a while now, and they're pretty nippy. The Canadians, Aaron Brown, Jerome Blake, Brendan Rodney, and Andre DeGrasse on anchor. That's a super team right there.
Yeah, they are the most seasoned team there. I mean, they're looking for redemption. Lost it at the World Relays. And now with all four gentlemen, I think three. This is three of the four that has really been winning medals over the last 4 years. So therefore, they know quite well how to perform as a team, and I
Hmm.
think they are ready to deliver. I think the Africans though will have something to say about that.
Yeah.
They're going to
So,
be the stoutest challengers for them.
so the Nigerians, first of all, they have the likes of Ashe and Ajahe on there, so they should put up a challenge. The South Africans will have also Simbini, Moss Johnson, so they'll be there. The Ghanaians with Azamati, Amoa, and Samunu, so they'll be there as well. The Australians with the new 9-8 man, Lachlan Kennedy, on the first leg, and Ryan Browning closing it out for them. The experienced Ryan Browning closing it out for them. Interestingly, I'm looking at the Kenyan team, and I'm not seeing Omanyala. So no Omanyala for the Kenyans, and he was a spearhead of that team. So they might actually struggle without Omanyala if that lineup is what is going to be run. Let's look at the women's 4x1. I think that we also had the team. So let me see if I can pull up the team here for the final. as we continue to track what's happening in Glasgow. So this final is probably the final thing we'll comment on, as it's going to happen at just about 2:26. So 4 minutes before the end of the program. So probably is the last thing we'll comment on. So let's look at the Jamaican team first of all. I I have here, and again, it might change because this is from the Commonwealth Games website, and I saw something the other day where they had Chris Taylor on the mixed 4x4, and I'm sure it was Watson. Was definitely not Chris Taylor. It was indeed former world champion at the 400 meters, Antonio Watson. So I take these as they are and tip a little bit of salt on it. Um, want to talk as well about the FIFA development. So we'll talk a little bit about the track and field, and then we'll go to the FIFA development. So Alana Reid, Jodine Williams, Lavania Williams, Ashanti Moore. Again, a very good team.
And one other thing I'm surprised at Davian, because if you remember when the team was named, there was a particular name, Sharika Jackson, that was listed to compete. I'm not sure if she's in Glasgow because if she's there, I was expecting her to come in on that third leg because I mean I'm not the only one saying this. I think there's need for work for Lavania on that third leg. I think she's not really settled. She has not really, and she seemed to have some anxiety issue. Seemed to have some anxiety issue with as regards to the starting of a race, or I would actually put her on the start leg, put Alana on that second leg, put Joding on the curve and Ashanti on the anchor. If she needs to be in the team, if there's no Sharika Jackson, because obviously there's no Janelle Smith in this one this time around. So I'm hoping if she stays on the third leg that she stays put, because I think Jamaica, with these four ladies, these very same four ladies who ran the preliminaries, still can get the job done. They can get
Yeah.
it done and do it so easily. So I think that she just needs to get it right. But I would have changed the order around.
My information is that Sherika is not actually in Glasgow. I'm not 100% sure, but that is what I have been told, that she's not actually in Glasgow. So I'm not necessarily expecting to see her competing for Jamaica in the 4 by 100 meters. In terms of the teams that will challenge, there are a couple of teams, the Canadians, who have been running really well of late, with the likes of Leduc, sorry, and Magritte, and they have a pretty strong team. The Nigerians as well, they have good individual sprinters. It's just a matter of if they can put it together. And of course, the Trinidadians with the senior athlete Michelle Lee Ahi Bascom, who won silver in the 200 meters, and Bertram Webster as there as well. So they should put up a little bit of challenge. Of course, the English, not the big names based on what I'm seeing here, but they always come out for the relays. Want to change it a little bit, O'Shea, because you're a man of all sports. So we want to talk a little bit, O'Shea, about the developments happening in football, the FIFA firestorm with Gianni Infantino having to back down from his plans to basically privatize the World Cup, selling the rights to private companies. What makes you what do you make of that development? First of all, the plan, and then the absolute firestorm with UEFA and CONCACAF and the Asian Football Association coming out and saying no, 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 no. What makes you of that entire situation?
I mean, Davian, Infantino needs to understand there's so much more stakeholders in football that he needs to remember makes the sport what it is. And I thought from that I heard the initial utterance, I'm like, this man is probably not thinking too well or thinking selfishly about what he think needs to be done for football, because at the moment I'm not sure what the genesis of this issue this thing is about, and some persons were supporting him, which I found strange, but I know you would have gotten a strong pushback because, as you said before, all those stakeholders that you listed will want to have a say, and so far they don't see that as a good measure. So I am really in support of them standing up, and I know he's a man that will want to fight on his own and try to do as he pleases. But I think it makes absolutely no sense, because I think it's only for a selfish gain and for just the minority that will benefit from this move.
Well, I'll tell you what. Um, the promise was that each member federation would get 40 million US dollars. Now 40 million US dollars is going to buy you a lot of support. Is it enough support? Obviously not. But I mean, putting 40 million US dollars in front of anybody and see how they will react. But as you said, I think based on what I saw of the proposal, based on what the proposal would have done, it would have taken football away from what it is, which is the people's sport, the most loved sport in the world, the most watched sport in the world, and it would have put it in the hands of private investors who would have had undue influence, undue um, powers to change the beautiful game. And when I saw it, and not just what is on the table, but where Infantino is going with this thing, I was very, very worried that football would become, I don't want to use a big C word, but we have to use it, corrupt. It would corrupt football. Your take on that?
And I agree with you. And I agree with you because obviously there are some ulterior motives. There's some ulterior motives because you said something, Davian. $40 million might seem a lot of money, but you have to think futuristic. What it does for you now, it makes you feel good and it makes you feel as if you have resource on at your disposal and you can make an effect on your local organization or regional organization and you feel like you have some power. But again, what will happen thereafter when the game, as I said before, is taken away from the local man or the man that makes the game? Because remember, there's no football without the spectators, without the fans. Regardless of how we look at it, they are who makes football. If you see the last World Cup, when the World Cup just done, Davian, how beautiful I think it was, only because of the interest that the fans had and the time, the energies, everything that they invested in it. So therefore, yes, you're going to look at the pound of flesh that these organizations can get. But I think Infantino also is looking more at the pound of flesh or the more than a pound that he will get. And I'm not in support of you doing something that I know deep down is not well thought out. I'm not saying that football doesn't need more injection of investment because again, it is the most watched sport on earth. It's the most loved, it's the most popular sport. So all investment he can get, all the things that he can get to boost the product is needed, but not at the expense of those who will not benefit at all. And again, the beneficiaries are key. And I make no apologies about that. I think when we have seen major sports who have taken some nosedive because leaders who we put at the front we thought would have been well thinking, thought about their own selfish gain and put the spectators behind.
And as we talk about that, we want to talk about the athletics as well. So the men's 4x100 meters just completed, and the Australians won it with a time of 38.07. So they defeated the Canadians, who actually finished second with 38.11, just ahead of Nigeria at 38.12. So it's very close, very, very close final. And listen to this, Ghana finished fourth, 38.13. So 6/10 of a second separated the top four: 38.07, 38.11, 38.12, 38.13. You were 6/100 of a second outside of the gold medal, Ghana. Instead, you get no medals at all. South Africa finished in fifth with 38.28. England in disappointment for them as well, 38.71. Big disappointment for Jamaica, finishing in seventh with 39.07, and Kenya eighth, 39.70. Well, as you said, O'Shea, we are probably missing one or two legs on that relay team.
I'm not surprised. I'm disappointed with South Africa because I was expecting them to be a little bit stronger. But again, you can only, I don't think they had much options coming out of the preliminary. I think they were very slow from the blocks. I think at the first two, like South Africa was way back. Jamaica was never in it. I think Akeem Blake didn't give us the start I was expecting because at the exchange, I think we're about 16th exchange and no effect on the backstretch on the curve. Chris Taylor tried his very best. Again, that safe change to Campbell on the last leg really was not gonna affect anything because by this all the five top teams were already gone. Jamaica just needs to probably pay attention, Davian, to the sport because one thing I know that has really been happening of recent with the change of the rule and the extension of the stagger. I realize some teams from Jamaica would use the advantage of it, while others really stay close ahead of the stagger. And I'm saying to myself, you probably class them as the B team or the C team. I think what you need to do is use a strategy that you can maximize the running and exchange zones and use it to your advantage because the slow teams, man for man, you see them using those zones and those exchange permits and to their advantage and they get away from you. So Jamaica needs to really go back, start to train the youngsters from champs because I didn't see a lot of champs where that new extended stagger is not being utilized. And we need to, for them to understand you have more exchange room. Utilize it, set your markers properly so that you can maximize, especially on the smoothness of your exchange without having to run a foul of what that line is. If you said you have more than enough, you're not back then, or you had a shorter exchange. So Jamaica needs to work because this time it's Davion is almost a schoolwork time, and these runners, pound for pound, should be able to do better.
Yes, indeed. We want to get back to the Infantino thing before we get to the women's 4x1 because that's coming up as well. Um, Infantino, does he get that fourth term? I understand that UEFA is actively searching for a replacement for Infantino. Is it Infantino done? Is he gone now, or does he have a chance after what many see as a successful 2026 World Cup? Does he have another opportunity to remain at the helm of FIFA?
I mean, I think he's gonna challenge again, Davian, but I think this has really put a huge dent in his credibility and people believing him. But again, who are gonna be the other candidates stepping up? Because again, if persons don't see you as a good alternate, then they're gonna refrain from the process of voting or selecting the next candidate. And by default, he might get a chance to get back in office. But I think what has been done, what he has done, what he has proposed, or what he has sought to do is gonna work against him. So there's absolutely no doubt about it. It's gonna work against him. I would be absolutely surprised to see him back in office unless he comes out and makes a good repeal of this and offers a sincere apology and back down fully and come with something that can counter this enough to take restore trust back to the persons who got him into the spot he is. Otherwise, I think this is it for him.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he might already uh, be gone. I think it's a matter of when, not if, Infantino will be gone as FIFA president. I think the anger that I'm seeing from the federations, particularly the very powerful UEFA Federation, I think that anger is going to sweep him out of office, basically. Um, I don't know. I was on another show um, yesterday, and I likened it to the story of Icarus, who believed too much in his own invincibility and flew too close to the sun. And I think that is what happened to Infantino, in that he believed that the World Cup was such a success that he could lead the rest of football down a path that otherwise they would not have even considered. Do you agree with that? Did Infantino go the way of Icarus? Did he fly too close to the sun?
Good comparison analogy there, David. I mean, you wonder, you begin to wonder coming off the World Cup because I think it was a very successful World Cup, David. And I think he was trying to find something to spoil the energies and spoil because again, yeah, we had some discussions and topical issues coming out of the World Cup, but probably most persons did not expect this to be the turn of events coming from the president. And I think, therefore, he might have taken a trip, as you said, where he needed not to have gone. And this is the result of it. So I could not disagree with you. I mean, when you get over 200 member federation supporting you in your last presidency bid, no, you're almost slapping half of them in the face. Only a fool will think you're not serious and give you a chance. He has really stamped himself down to virtually a person that has zero confidence from the stakeholders, and I think it's gonna work against him because he went the wrong direction.
Yeah, I think that is a perfect analogy. He thought he was safe, could do anything he wanted. He said almost 100% of the member federations supporting his last bid, and with elections coming up next year, he thought, well, maybe, and might just go the way of Icarus. Want to remind those who are watching that you can send your comments in via WhatsApp, text, or call at 876 336 9928. We'll read those comments live on the program. Again, you can WhatsApp, text, or call 876 336 9928 and leave a comment. You can also leave a comment on our social media pages. Uh, Excuse me. We're live on TikTok. We're also live on YouTube. So you can go to YouTube at NRP Media, TikTok at NRP Media. We're also live on Facebook at Leon Nash. That's Leaon, last name Nash. We're live on those social media pages. You can go ahead and leave your comments there. My producers are trying to ensure that I have those comments available to me. So as soon as you make the comments, I'll read them live on air. So you don't have to be fearful that your comments won't be read. I'm keeping the track with it and ensuring that as soon as those comments are made, we read the comments live on air. No comments just yet, but if we get any, we'll read them live on air. I think we should have completion of the women's 4x100 meters. So let me
So
go
yeah, so
ahead.
Jamaica just won it there, David, and ahead of Canada, but just on foot speed because those changes were super horrible. But thanks, I think Ashanti Moore gave us one of those, if you remember, reminiscent of those idle anchors. She was able to hold, I
Yes.
think Leduc was an anchor, but Ashanti stepped up big time to hold her up. But the exchange, I think they played them very safe, too safe, but they run it on foot speed. And congratulations to the young ladies.
Wonderful gold medal for Jamaica. So right here live on the program, you got or we got our gold medal. So Jamaica now moves to 8 gold medals, and that would see us moving to 16 medals total in terms of track and field, which would put us joint third still in terms of total medals won, with India just behind Australia on 26 and England on 18. But we'd be second on the medal table now with 8 gold medals, 3 silvers, and 5 bronze medals. The Aussies, the Australians, they have 9 gold medals, which is why they are ahead of us. 9 gold medals, 8 silvers, 9 bronze medals. So they're ahead of us in terms of total medals won and also gold medals won. So they're ahead of us, but Jamaica continues to do well in terms of our medal haul. Let's see if we have gotten any comments. Certainly, Jamaica's gold medal in the 4x100 meters will get somebody to comment, but let me see. if I can give you the full results for
So while
the
you're doing that, Davian, just the point that Australia just, I think they just stole the track and field medal table, because what they did was surprise us in the 4x1 for men. And I think Jamaica will not have a rebound. Even if we get the 4x4 mix, really, we're still gonna finish behind them because they have more
behind them.
quality medals than us. So they did the business by winning that 4x1 males, surprising the teams there. Had they lost that, we probably would have ended up beating them, because I'm sure they are not the strongest team in the mixed 4x4.
Yeah, I was watching that, the moment it happened, and I said to myself, well, that is pretty much it. Didn't want to put it out into the atmosphere. Well, as you said it, I think that would do it. And I mean, finishing second on the medal table behind the Aussies is not too bad of a feat. And the Aussies, their program is a lot more expansive than ours, and they have athletes not only in the able-bodied events but also in the para events, and the para medals also go towards your total medal score. So it's not just able-bodied athletes but also para athletes, and they're racking up major medals in terms of para athletes and para medals. So Jamaica won the women's 4x100 meters in 42.65. Canada was second with 42.76, and Ashanti Moore on anchor for Jamaica, Leduc on anchor for Canada. And guess what? It was 2 or 3 medals for the Caribbean, as Trinidad finished third with 43.07. Australia shut out of the medals with 43.09. England in fifth with 43.45. Nigeria sixth, 43.74. The Scottish women finished seventh, 44.81, and the Gambia eighth with 44.85. So I think if we don't have any comments, I think that is pretty much it for the program for today. Any final comments from you, O'Shea?
Just to say, it has been a very good week of sport coming into the weekend, with the closure of the Commonwealth Games and the wrapping of the under 20 qualifiers. I think Jamaica has really set us up, or they at least have set us up for a good Independence Week and weekend that is to come. And now all attentions are going to be turned to the CAC game, because that's where now I wouldn't say the lesser tier athletes, I would say the other team. The other team, including netballers, swimmers, and some have started campaigning already in Dominican Republic. I think now the Jamaica team now is going to ride on a high, seeing what they have seen from the Commonwealth competitors, to ensure that they do equally, if not as better, in terms of quality medal production. And let me just spare a thought, or give a shout out to some young men that are performing at the FISU. I think it's a university games that's happening in one of those countries. The location eludes me right now, but the likes of
Peru.
In Peru, so
Yeah.
the likes of the Daly brothers, they're there. I know they have won 3 medals so far, 3 gold medals. They
Rashid
won the
Foster.
100 meters courtesy of the Myconian, Rashid Foster, and the younger Daly won the 200 meters, and they all came together as a team for Jamaica despite competing in different universities, and won that 4x1 last night. So they have really done well. So all around, Jamaica is having a good season now. Once this track and field period is closed, we turn all attentions to the World Ultimate Championships after the closure of the Diamond League.
Yes, indeed. Also want to mention the West Indies. They take on
Yeah,
Pakistan in the second test tomorrow. You
going for
know,
a second win.
yeah, man. I tell people all the time, I always tell them I follow every sport, but cricket was my first sport. So anytime the West Indies are doing well, I am super happy. Super, super happy. So I'm looking forward to the
Somebody said
cricket.
they're doing it in the memory of Sir Garfield Sobers.
Yes.
And I think that if there's any motivation that they need right now to ensure that the legend, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, we have seen here in the West Indies, for us to immortalize him, I think they need to win this series. They did well in the first one, and I'm expecting them to not do what they did against Sri Lanka, but to continue the momentum.
Yes, I want them to win. I said it yesterday on that other program. I don't want a series win. I want a series sweep. I want them to go out and beat the Pakistanis. The Pakistanis have lost 8 consecutive test matches on a trad. Make it number 9. Beat them. Also, we have, I think, Jamaica versus Canada in the under 20, well, the under 19 football competition, CONCACAF under 20 championship. Sorry, we have that going on. We'll face the group leaders, Canada, in that match, and we know that once we don't lose to Canada, we will make it to the knockout rounds. So lots of sports happening. So even though the track and field ends, the Commonwealth track and field ends today, FISU is still going on. We still have football with the under 20 CONCACAF championships. We still have cricket coming up, 5 days of beautiful cricket, and so much more, which means that when I return next week, we'll have lots and lots to talk about. But Jamaica. Oh, we almost forgot. We almost
Yeah.
forgot the big one
Tuesday.
tomorrow. It's a netball. The Sunshine Girls.
And we
Oh
have
my
Tuesday.
word. Yes.
So
On
track
Tuesday.
and field is over for today. So I think
Yes.
that's what you meant. But Commonwealth Games is still going on. There's
Still
still a
going
few
on.
events to complete. So,
Yes.
and by the way, Australia just won another gold medal. So they have really won the track and
Oh,
field portion.
yeah, man.
battle.
I think
Um,
that was
So finishing second, it is a big deal. We
Big
will
deal.
surpass, as you said, the medal count from the last championships in Birmingham. And I think we can be absolutely proud because a lot of person we sent a C team or a B team to this
B
Commonwealth game. Well, they are producing A-class performances. So credit to them.
It might be a B team, but they're beating a lot of folks. I think that's the perfect way for us to end the program today. It's been a pleasure talking with you, Ashay. Mr. Nash,
Yes, sir.
we have had a fantastic time of it. Look forward to
Indeed.
seeing you next week and to discussing
Tuesday evening
all.
at 8 o'clock.
Oh, Tuesday. My apologies. I heard you saying Tuesday. We have another program on Tuesday, so we don't have to wait a week. We're back on Tuesday, and I'll be here with another guest to discuss sports. At that time, we'll know how that final with Australia would have gone. We'd also have a feel of how the cricket with the West Indies versus Pakistan is going. It would be the end of day number 3. So lots to discuss on Tuesday. So we'll see you folks on Tuesday afternoon.
Radio listeners, Sports 365 returns to NRP Radio this and every Saturday at 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. and again on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. with me, Daveon Nugent. Alongside me will be Mr. Winston Harrison as we take on topical sporting items. Sports 365 highlights what's happening now. Tune in to listen via radio on our website at nrpmediaja.com or download the NRP radio app from the Google Play Store. Our live radio shows, while aired on nrpmediaja.com, are supported by Facebook live broadcast at Leon Nash and YouTube live and TikTok at NRP Media JA. Join this budding religious station with a difference, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations.
The time is now 2:38 right here on NRP Radio and NRP Media. Of course, that was the Sports 365 return right here on NRP Radio and NRP Media. We hope and trust that you enjoyed the program with Daveon Nugent and his guest this afternoon. Remember, I'll be back here at 7 o'clock this evening for my show. That's the Weekend's Gospel Show right here on this station. Stick and stay. We've not gone anywhere. We're going to give you a little music before I get out of here. All right, stand by for me. Stand by for me. Let's see if we can bring up that promo for you right here on this station. We are here 24 hours per day and 365 days per year. You can't miss it, or you can't afford to miss out on anything that we have going on this side, man, because I'm telling you, it is something that you are definitely wanting to hear. So you know what? Let me put on something more right here on the station for you, because it is the station for the nation. And of course, it is just had Sports 365 right here on this station. Stand by.
There's always a word in time to meet all your conditions. And right here on nrpmediaja.com, it's no different. Join the NRP family every Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock for the Amplified Word. The Amplified Word will provide you with encouragement, motivation, and spiritual direction. Come on board and tell a friend. You will be glad you did. The Amplified Word every Wednesday morning at 9.
And repeated every Sunday at noon.
Only on nrpmediaja.com.
Gospel lovers, mark the date. Every Saturday from 7 to 11 p.m. It's time to tune in to the Weekend's Gospel Show with the one and only blessed man Leon Nash. Join the 4-hour musical journey that's uplifting, inspiring, and energizing, featuring powerful gospel hits, Bible trivia, engaging interviews, and all the latest news and weather updates. Plus, of course, heartfelt birthdays and anniversary shout-outs. Whether you're winding down or getting lifted up, this show delivers non-stop praise, positivity, and purpose. Tell a friend, spread a word, and don't forget, it's the music, and yes, even more music. Stay connected and follow at NRP Media JA on all platforms, YouTube, Instagram,
get the
and
most out of
Facebook.
one sheet?
It's the
Grab
Weekend's Gospel Show every Saturday from 7 to 11 p.m. where faith meets rhythm and information meets inspiration.
It is 2:42 right here on NRP Radio. It's a Saturday afternoon radio.
There is no power to separate me from your love, my Jesus. Nothing will be able to turn me away from your. I love you, Father. Anyhow, the afflictions of the righteous, the hearts of men getting more and more vicious. Brutality is on the increase. Damn it. When the lamb of God sees no power to separate me from God. Love, my Jesus, nothing will be able to turn me away from you. I love you, Father. This level of crime, only love can eradicate. We must demand justice from the church and the state and confess to God and he will give us so much.
The sound there of George Nooks himself.
We show love to each and every brother. Love will return to protect mother, daughter, sister. Let's hope in our heart to those who are in need, who never receive love. Come, let's sow some seed. No power to separate me from love. Love, my Jesus, nothing will be able to turn me away from you. I love you, Heavenly Father. No power on earth to separate me from love. I love you, my Jesus, nothing will be able to turn me away from you. No, of yours. No power, no, oh no, nothing will be able to turn me away from you. No, no power on earth.
Yes, indeed, and no power on earth can separate me from the love of God, which is in Christ Jesus. It's at 2:45 and a half right here on NRP Radio, Saturday afternoon radio for you. This one says, standing on the promises of God. Want to say good afternoon to those of you who are on the TikTok Live. Alonzo Johnson, what's up, going?
Standing on the promises of Christ, my King, through eternal ages, let his praises ring. Glory in the highest, I will shout and sing. Standing on the promises of God. I now can see perfect present cleansing in the blood for me, standing in the liberty where Christ makes free, standing on the promises of God.
Limits, no limitations, NRP radio station.
You're locked into NRP radio. You're locked into NRP radio.
Pull up, rewind, weekends gospel in rotation. The #1 show, no boundaries, no limitations. Anywhere you day, praise and celebration, Jesus' name lifted, no limits, no limitations, NRP radio station.
You're locked into NRP radio. You're locked into NRP Radio.
For the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. I know the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. Hold up on your victory, Christian. Hold up on your victory, Christian. Hold up on your victory, Christian. Victory in Jesus. Amen. Victory in Jesus. Amen. Hold up on your victory, Christian. I say the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. And He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. Hold up on your victory, Christian. Hold up on your victory, Christian. Hold up on your victory, Christian. Victory in Jesus. Amen. Victory in Jesus. Amen. Hold up on your victory, Christian. I know the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. And He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. Hold up on your victory, Christian. Hold up on your victory, Christian. Hold up on your victory, Christian. Victory in Jesus. Amen. Victory in Jesus. Amen. Hold up on your victory, Christian. Hold up on your victory, Christian. Victory in Jesus. Amen. Victory in Jesus.
You're locked into NRP Radio.
Hold up on your victory, Christian. Oh, say the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want.
You're locked into NRP Radio.
And He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. And He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. And He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. And He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. Hold up on your victory, Christian. Hold up on your victory, Christian. Hold up on your victory, Christian. Victory in Jesus. Amen. Victory in Jesus. Amen. Hold up on your victory, Christian.
You're locked into NRP Radio.
Nothing kills a good idea faster than switching tools. But I have a solution for this. Envato. You find the perfect shot.
Glory to God. Ready or not, Jesus is coming. Ready or not, He's coming again.
You're locked into NRP Radio.
Jesus is coming. Ready or not, He's coming. Hey, ready or not, come on, church. Jesus is coming. Ready or not, He's coming again. Ready or not, oh glory, Jesus is coming. Ready or not, He's coming. One more time, ready or not, glory, Jesus is coming. Ready or not. hear this. No sin, no sin, no sin, no sin, no sin cannot enter. No, 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 no. For heaven is bright and fair. No sin cannot enter. I feel like doing it again. No sin, no sin, church. No sin, no sin, no sin cannot enter. For heaven is bright and fair. No sin cannot enter. Somebody else needs to hear it. No sin, no sin, no sin, no sin, no sin cannot enter. For heaven is bright and fair. No sin cannot enter. Ready or not, ready or not, Jesus is coming. Ready or not, He's coming again. Ah, ready or not, glory, Jesus is coming. Hallelujah. Ready or not, He's coming again. Ready or not, Jesus is coming. Hallelujah. Ready or not, He's coming again. Glory, mighty God, Jesus is coming. My God, ready or not, He's coming again. Listen, people are you ready to go? People say you want to know. The Lord is coming soon. Maybe morning, night, or noon. Do you know the time appointed? Any minute, any hour. Rise up, church of God. People are you ready to go? People are you ready to go?
Cool up, rewind.
The Lord is coming soon. Maybe morning, night, or noon. Do you know the time appointed? Any minute, any hour. Rise up, church of God. People are you ready to go?
Well, this is where I'm going to be taking my leave of you this afternoon. Thank you for joining us for Sport 365 and then a little music and, to back it up, right? Join me at 7 o'clock this evening for the Weekend's Gospel Show. Leon Nash is my name. Take care. Coming up next will be the Jazz feature featuring the emancipation messages of the leader of the opposition and the Prime Minister. And more music on the radar platform this time. So please go over to the radar platform, nrpmediaja.com. I repeat, nrpmediaja.com. Go over to our radar platform right now and continue to listen until 7 o'clock when we rejoin you. Until then, you take care. It is now 3 o'clock. All your and all your strength. This is NRP Media and Radio. The time is 3 o'clock.
A hurricane we name, and we rough. Whether we are man hurricane or woman hurricane, we want you know that we come here for mass up buildings.
On Emancipation Day message from Leader of the Opposition, Mark Golding.
Fellow Jamaicans, today we commemorate one of the most profound and defining moments in our history. On the first day of August, 1838, which is 188 years ago, our people awoke to a new reality.